Dear cadets, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome you all at my online class. I hope all of you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. This is Maqsud Rahman, lecturer in chemistry, Borishal Cadet College, Borishal. It is very necessary to keep yourself inside home along with your family members for avoiding the running pandemic COVID-19. And I hope that we will be very soon can get rid of from this privilege, from this situation. And once again, our life become a smooth one. And considering this situation, Borishal Cadet College is providing necessary academic guidelines and short lecture on specific link periodically. With this continuation, I am here for your online class. Yes. By seeing this picture, what you can guess? Here you can see water molecules bonded with another water molecules due to hydrogen bonding. Yes. Today I am going to give a lecture on hydrogen bonding. So at this chapter 3, this is for 8 session for you, and today our topic is hydrogen bonding. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define hydrogen bonding. You can describe properties of hydrogen bonding, and you can also define the different types of hydrogen bonding. So at first, I am going to discuss on what is hydrogen bond. So hydrogen bond is an electromagnetic attraction created between a partially positively charged hydrogen atom attached to a highly electronegative atom and another nearby electronegative atom. That means hydrogen bond is an electromagnetic attraction created between a electropositive, here you can see partially positively charged hydrogen atom that is bonded with a electronegative atom, and this partially positively hydrogen charged form a hydrogen bond between another electronegative atom of another molecule. So this is called hydrogen bonding. So hydrogen bonding is a electromagnetic attraction created between a partially positively charged hydrogen atom and a electronegative atom. And this is not actually chemical bonds. This bond is weak compared to the covalent and ionic bonds. If I compare the strong bond between covalent and ionic bonds, so hydrogen bond is less stronger than covalent and ionic bonds. Now, in a molecule, when hydrogen atom is linked with a highly electronegative atom, for example, you can see in this picture, this hydrogen atom is linked with highly electronegative oxygen atom. So it attracts the shared pair of electron more. So the oxygen atoms becomes partially negative and hydrogen becomes partially positive. I repeat it again. When a hydrogen atom is attached with a electronegative atom, this electronegative atom pulls the shared paired electron, and that's why this oxygen atom becomes partially negative and hydrogen atom becomes partially positive. And the negative end of the one molecule attracts the positive end of the other molecule, and as a result this hydrogen bond is formed. I repeat, negative end of one molecule attracts the positive end of another molecule, and that's why a hydrogen bond is formed. So as a result, hydrogen bonding, a hydrogen atom linked to two electronegative atoms simultaneously. Here you can see one hydrogen atom is linked with two electronegative atoms, because in a molecule this hydrogen atom linked with the electromagnetic atom, as this hydrogen is linked with electromagnetic atom, it is attract the shared pair of electron towards itself, that's why it is partially negative and hydrogen becomes partially positive, and this positive hydrogen atom attract with another electronegative atom of another molecule. So you can see one hydrogen atom is linked with two electronegative atoms. The conditions for hydrogen bonding are: the molecule must contain a highly electronegative atom. For example, usually fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen atoms are linked to the hydrogen atom. The higher the electronegativity, more is the polarization of the molecule, so there will be more possibility for forming hydrogen bond. Second one, the size of the electronegative atom should be small. Size of the electronegative atom should be small. The smaller the size, the greater is the electrostatic attraction. So if the attraction force is greater, so it can pull the shared pair of electron towards itself. That's why it becomes partially negative and hydrogen atom becomes partially positive. So in that case, hydrogen atom can form hydrogen bond with another electronegative atom. So two conditions are, so molecule must contain a highly electronegative atom, for example, fluorine, oxygen or nitrogen, and this electronegative atom should be a small one. That's why when the smaller size is small, there is a greater possibility of the attractive or electrostatic attraction. So two conditions, I think it is clear to you, and this is very important for hydrogen bonding. Now, properties of hydrogen bonding. Solubility. First one is solubility. Lower alcohols are soluble in water. Why? Because of the hydrogen bonding which take place between water and alcohol molecule. Here you can see this is ethanol, CH3, CH2 and OH. As there is a OH is present, oxygen is highly electronegative atom, so it pulls electron from the oxygen hydrogen bonds towards itself. That's why oxygen become partially positive, negative, and hydrogen become partially positive. So as this hydrogen is partially positive, and we know that in water molecule oxygen is partially negative and hydrogen is partially positive. So this partially positive hydrogen can form a hydrogen bond with partially negative oxygen of water molecule. So ethanol can dissolve or soluble in water. So due to formation of hydrogen bonding, lower alcohol that have lower number of carbon can soluble in water molecule due to hydrogen bonding. But in case of dimethyl ether, you can see in case of dimethyl ether, this oxygen atom is partially negative, and in case of hydrogen atom, this is also partially positive. So there is also a possibility for hydrogen bonding. Volatility. As a compound involving hydrogen bonding between different molecules have a higher boiling point, so they are less volatile. So the compounds which have hydrogen bonding between different molecules have a different boiling point, so they are less volatile. Third one is viscosity and surface tension. The substance which contain hydrogen bonding exist as an associated molecule. As they attach with hydrogen bonding, so molecules become associated. So their flow becomes comparatively difficult. So they have higher viscosity and high surface tension. So the compounds which have higher viscosity and high surface tension may have hydrogen bonding. So the compounds which have hydrogen bonding, those substances are associated, exist as associated, and due to this their flow becomes difficult, and they have higher viscosity and higher surface tension. Fourth one is the lower density of ice than water. Here is a question. This is very important for your question. Why the water has ice has lower density than water? In the ice, in the case of solid ice, the hydrogen bonding gives rise to a cage-like structure of water molecule. You can see in this picture the cage-like structure of water molecule, and that formation of due to hydrogen bonding. So as a matter of fact, that each water molecule is linked tetrahedrally to 4 water molecules. The molecules are not as closely packed as they are in a liquid state. That's why when ice melts, this cage-like structure collapses and the molecules come closer to each other. Thus for the same mass of water. So the volume decreases and density increases. Therefore, ice has a lower density than water at 273 Kelvin. That's why ice floats in water. And this is very important for your question. I think it is understood to you, and you can write it properly. Now, types of hydrogen bonding. There are 2 types of hydrogen bonds, and it is classified as the following. First one is intermolecular hydrogen bonding, and second one is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So now, intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Inter means one molecules to another molecules. One molecule bonded with another molecules. I repeat it again. Intermolecule means one molecule bonded form a hydrogen bond with another molecule. When hydrogen bonding takes place between different molecule of the same or different compound, it is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Here you can see this is water molecule. This water molecule form hydrogen bond with another water molecule. This water molecule also form hydrogen bond with another water molecule. So this is the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So when one molecule form a hydrogen bond with another water molecule, this is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. I think it is clear to you. For example, ammonia hydrogen bonding in water molecule. Here you can see hydrogen bonding in water molecule, alcohol and ammonia. Now, intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Intramolecular means in a molecules. When hydrogen bonding is formed in a molecules, here you can see orthonitrophenol. This is orthonitrophenol. When OH group, here you can see OH group. So it takes place in a compound containing two groups, such that one group contains hydrogen atom linked to a electronegative atom, and the other group contains a highly electronegative atom linked to a lesser electronegative atom of the other group. Here you can see orthonitrophenol, the OH group. Here oxygen is highly electronegative, so oxygen becomes partially positive. And in case of this nitro group, oxygen is highly electronegative compared to nitrogen. So that's why this oxygen is partially negative and this hydrogen become partially positive. So there will be a possibility for forming hydrogen bond. So this is the intramolecular hydrogen bonding, because two group, one nitro group and hydroxy group, nitro group and hydroxyl group bond a hydrogen bond, and these two groups are present in a single molecule. When hydrogen bond is formed between two groups or atoms of a single molecule, when hydrogen bond is formed atoms of a single molecule, this is called intramolecular hydrogen bonding. I think it is clear to you. Here you can see also a salicylaldehyde. This is a salicylaldehyde. Here you can see COO and CH. So this oxygen is highly electronegative atom, so that's why this is partially negative. And OH group, this oxygen atom is highly negative, so this hydrogen atom become partially positive. So there is a possibility for forming hydrogen bond between this oxygen and this hydrogen atom. So this hydrogen bond is formed between this group and this group, and these both group are present in one group. So when hydrogen bond is formed between atoms of a single molecule, this is called intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So I think it is clear to you. Intermolecular means when hydrogen bond is formed between one molecule to another molecule, and intramolecular means when hydrogen bond is formed between atoms of the same molecule. Atoms of the same molecule, this is called intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Here is a question: why do compounds having hydrogen bonding have higher melting and boiling points? The compounds having hydrogen bonding show abnormally high melting and boiling points. Why? Because due to the fact that some extra energy is needed to break these bonds. I previously discussed hydrogen bonding is a weak bond compared to covalent bonds and ionic bonds, but this is a bond, and when we some melt or boil something, so this hydrogen bond need to be break down. That's why you need more energy. So boiling point and melting point become arise. Here you can see when hydrogen fluoride mixed with another hydrogen fluoride, so there are hydrogen bonds are forming. As these hydrogen bonds are forming, so that's why hydrogen fluoride have higher melting and boiling points. Another question: Why do compounds having hydrogen bonding have same melting and boiling points? For example, water is a liquid, whereas hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenium, hydrogen thorium are all gases at ordinary temperature. Why? So these three substances are gaseous, but H2O, that means water molecule, is liquid. Both oxygen, sulfur, selenium, and thorium, all these are present in a group. But why the melting point or boiling point of water molecule is higher than these substances? Because in water molecule, hydrogen bonding causes linkage in the water molecule, which results in the boiling point of water molecule is more than that of the other compounds. Here you can see in water molecule, oxygen is partially negative and hydrogen is partially positive. So that's why this positive hydrogen atom can form a hydrogen bond with partially negative oxygen atom of another water molecule. That's why water molecule can form hydrogen bond, and that's why one molecule attract with another molecule by intermolecular hydrogen bonding. As this water molecule bonded with another water molecule by intermolecular hydrogen bonding, that's why its melting point and boiling point is high. And due to in absence of hydrogen bonding in hydrogen sulfide, so this is gaseous substance. I think this question is clear to you. Here you can see ammonia has a higher melting boiling point than that of phosphine. Why? Because in case of ammonia, nitrogen is highly electronegative, so that's why it pulls electron from hydrogen nitrogen bond and it becomes partially negative, and hydrogen become partially positive. So this nitrogen can form bond with hydrogen bond with another partially negative hydrogen atom of another ammonia molecule. But in case of phosphine, it is totally absent. So in case of phosphonia gas, so there will be no possibility of hydrogen bond formation, but in case of ammonia, it is possible to form hydrogen bonding. That's why its melting point or boiling point is higher compared to the pH 3. Again, ethanol, you can see this is the alcohol. Ethanol has a higher melting or boiling point than diethyl ether because there is hydrogen bonding in the ethanol. In case of alcohol, there will be possibility in hydrogen bonding, but in case of diethyl ether, it is totally absent. So that's why this substance or alcohol has higher melting point or boiling point compared with the ether. In case of hydrogen bonding in carboxylic acid, here you can see RCOOH. This is one carboxylic acid molecule and this is another carboxylic acid molecule. So carboxylic acid is a type of organic molecule which contain a OH group. Here you can see this is a OH group of this molecule. So there this is a OH group. Normally, if any molecule which contain the hydrogen atom is connected with either oxygen or nitrogen directly, the hydrogen bonding is easily formed because this oxygen, as this oxygen is highly electronegative, so this pulls electron from the oxygen hydrogen bond and it becomes partially negative and hydrogen becomes partially positive. So this hydrogen atom can form hydrogen bond with this oxygen atom. Also, this oxygen can form hydrogen bond with this hydrogen atom. So two carboxylic group or two carboxylic molecule associate with each other. So hydrogen bonding results in the association of the molecule. As association occurs, that's why the boiling point or melting point becomes arise. So today we learned about the hydrogen bonding and the properties of hydrogen bonding and different types of hydrogen bonding. And if you have any question, please write it in comment box. Later on, I will try to solve your question. I have a home task for you. First question, what is hydrogen bonding? Second question, what are the conditions for hydrogen bonding? And third one is, why do compounds have hydrogen bonding have high melting and boiling points? So thank you very much for your participation. I want to say you that again, you must wash your hands regularly, maintain social distance, avoid touching eyes, nose, mouth for avoiding the running pandemic COVID-19. You must make your family member conscious about novel coronavirus and you try to make your lesson properly. And lastly, I hope all will become very soon meet again and our life become again a smooth one. And with this hope, I conclude here. Thank you very much.